Hey everybody, welcome to Round the Twist, episode 203. Sorry, need to readjust. There we go. It is April 15th, 2015. It's tax day. Not to freak anyone out. But this is take two. Once again, the sound decided to cut out about this time 6.5 minutes in. So there's really no rhyme or reason to why it's cutting out. I have no programs open on my computer. I don't know. I don't know. So we're going to do this one more time. But after this, I have the flip charging right now, and that's what I'm going to use to record. Because honestly, at this point, it's probably a hardware issue with the computer, and I do not have, it's not in the budget right now to replace a rather large desktop computer at the moment. So in future, maybe, but at the moment, I'm going to take whatever steps I can. I've tried all cheaper options, which I'll talk about one of those later if there's time. And once again, kind of like last week, no, you know what? I'm not even going to try to go quick. I'm sorry. I'm getting frustrated, and I don't like to have to re-record because to me, it doesn't feel as fresh as the first time I record, and I tend to either repeat myself because I'm going, ooh, did I say that the first time or the second time? Or I forget things because I go, well, I already said it, but I might have said it on the first recording, not this second recording. It is what it is. I'm just going to relax. I'm going to knit. This take, I have my coffee. The first take, I did not. So that's a good thing for those of you with headphones. I coughed quite a bit because my throat was dry because I forgot to bring my coffee and I had hit record and I wasn't going to stop, darn it. I should have. I broke into my new bag of root beer float for today. So here we are. And I'm almost to the end of this round. This is one of those good times, one of those times where it would be good to have a co-host. But I don't, so you get me trying to finish a row because I normally, those of you who have been with me a long time know that I don't normally knit on the show because, well, there's no time because there's not a second set of hands to hold things up to the camera for me. And yeah, but I'm almost there. Yay. Okay, drop that one. What I'm working on, I suppose I can start talking about that. My one project I have on the needles is my County Redemption cardigan. It is the County Rainbow cardigan if you're looking for the pattern by Ruth Sorensen. It is available for free on Ravelry. And I am knitting the size medium. Mainly because that's what I knit last time and I didn't want to measure myself, so I'm doing the same thing again. It's a cardigan. If it doesn't close, you'll leave it hanging open. That's what I'm going to do anyway. So, yeah, get to a point it won't stretch. Oh, bugger. There we go. Okay. So, I'm knitting this out of the County Effect Garn. Let's see if it'll focus this time. Yes, it didn't focus on this label the last time. The colorway I'm using is EF, which is the same one that I knit my first one out of. It's just the dye lot is very different. Let's see if you can see it on here. Kind of. There we go. It's a lot more muted, as I've talked about before. Ooh, sorry, bumped the monitor. So I'm knitting on a US 4, a 3.5 millimeter needle. I still have it on my Knit Picks interchangeables because, quite frankly, I haven't taken the time to switch out to these lovely signatures that my mom is letting me borrow. So let's see. Ooh, it went more overcast again. Good, yay! So I can actually hold this up and you guys can see the colors. Huzzah! So I have 10 stripes done on the body. I just finished up the last color work row of the 10th stripe. So you can see I closed off the little boxes. So I have one more stripe to go, because if I counted right, and I'm going to go back and look at the pictures I have on my wrap page again. If I counted right on those pictures, then I need 11 stripes to go from pretty much from hip, mid-hip to underarm. Yeah, that's pretty darn close. Before I add in the armhole steeks and continue on from there. So, yay! I'm excited. This is actually flying compared to the first time that I knit it, probably because it's been a few years. I'm a better knitter. I'm a faster knitter, definitely with two-handed color work, because I keep my background color in my right hand and I throw, which is how English style, which is how I normally knit, is I throw. I'm a thrower. And then I hold my contrast color, whichever color I'm using for the little boxes, as my contrast color, and that is in my left hand, and I pick. So I'm able to go fairly quickly. I'll try to get a video of that, so I'm really hoping the sound doesn't cut out on this one, or you guys are getting one that's, you're gonna have to lip read. So 10 stripes done. I'm hoping to get the 11th done this week, but coming up on my 4-day work weekend, so we'll see how much I can get done in about the next day and a half. And then next Tuesday is, after I work the weekend, the following Tuesday is usually pretty much a wash. Just being exhausted and having to stay up with the twins for the majority of the day because hubby has to work. But we'll see. We'll see how much I can get done. So that's my one and only thing on the needles, is my county redemption. Which means I have an FO. And if you've even watched last week's, you know what it is. It's my 2x2 Hands of Blue socks that I knit for hubby. These wonderful things. He asked for socks about a month before Christmas, and I pretty much laughed in his face and went, you're a dreamer, not gonna happen. So I knit him the slippers instead, which he still got late, but that's okay. He hasn't hardly worn them, so nah. So the yarn is from Friday Studios. It is her Monday base. Of course, there we go. Monday base. It's a 75-25 superwash wool and nylon blend. It feels kind of like opal to me. And then the colorway is 2x2 Hands of Blue, which is, of course, is a Firefly reference. Hence why it lived in my Jessalou Jane hat bag the whole time. I still had quite a bit left of the yarn, so that's going to go into my scrap gallon Ziploc bag that I have for some future scrappy thing. But they're 72 stitch vanilla socks with an afterthought crystal heel, which I learned at the last sock summit. It is available for free. I believe if you just do a search for crystal heel, it will come up, and it's available for free on Knitty. I can't remember which one, but I basically did the spiral variation of it. So when I did my decreases, I not only decreased down the side, I also decreased here. So rather than doing double decreases here, I did 1, 1, 1, 1. Was basically what it amounts to. And the number of, it makes for a deeper heel, which the hubby and I both have higher insteps, so it helps for afterthought socks to fit. And I just barely squeaked out the second heel without running into the black. I had like a 1/4 inch of white left when I got done grafting, so whew, cut it kind of close, but that's okay. Ooh, sorry. Started those on February 11th, finished them this morning, April 15th. The ends are woven in, but I have not given them a bath yet. That'll happen tonight, tomorrow, so those will be going straight to hubby and hopefully go into his, what did I do there? Sorry. Sock rotation. Mystery crusty bits on your pants. It's the joys of having toddlers. It's probably Cheez-It goo or something. I don't know. Next. I have no spinning. I haven't spun since last Friday, I think, when I recorded. I haven't touched the wheel. I haven't hardly even been down here. So I do have pokey things for you, though. The Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery. Once Upon a Time sample. I'm going to keep it folded in half because I only worked on the top half. The rest of it just looks like the grid. So I managed to get all of that pink in the top banner. And let's see. The pink in the little flower over here. And then pretty much this whole border all the way down. Done. Just in the last couple days. I don't know why. I haven't been in a stitching mood, and I suddenly was. So there you go. I did have to rip out and redo that crown right here. I had done it, I think, one stitch out and down. I don't know how I miscounted, but I think what the plan is for this is I'm going to finish enclosing this first square, which is January's little thing. And then I'm actually going to work January, and then I'll come back, I'll finish the banner up here, and I'll do February, and then do the border over here, do March. That's kind of the plan I'm thinking, just because I don't want everyone getting bored with going, look, here's more of the border, it's more of the same. And I'd like to change it up a little bit for everyone, plus keep me from getting bored and going, oh gosh, I have to do more of the border. So there you have it. And I also want to do a little more than just navy blue and that navy blue and raspberry color for you guys. So there you go. The cloth is Aida for, I can't remember what count, whatever it calls for, 18 maybe. From Picture This Plus, it is their crystal doubloon. You can kind of, yep, there's the sparkles. See them? And that's all throughout the whole thing. And it's kind of a hand dyed, it is a hand dyed. If you want to order from them, just be aware everything is, they'll sometimes have the yardage you want, sometimes it's dyed to order, so it can take a while before your yardage is sent. So just be aware if you're ordering from them. They're fabulous. They have beautiful, beautiful stuff. But if you want to, oh my gosh, I must stitch now. Yeah, you're going to have to tamp that down a little bit if you want to stitch on something they've dyed. Okay, moving on. Try to get this done a little quicker, even though the sound cut out at 6.5 minutes on the last one. So I might be talking to nothing here. Various and sundry, we do have the redemption knit along that's going on as long as I am knitting on the redemption count, or the county redemption sweater. Join in. Anything you want. It can be something that's languishing in your UFO pile. It can be something that you thought was too hard for you years ago, but you want to try it now. It doesn't have to be anything epic. It can be, hey, I've never knit a garment, so I'm going to try a baby sweater or a child's sweater before I tackle something for me. Challenge yourself. That's all I ask. Or if it's a project that completely went astray and you want to rip it back to where you can keep going, or find where you were in the pattern and start over from there, please do join us. It's very loose. The only rule is basically, while you're working on it, post in the chatter thread over on the Rav board. Once it's finished, it goes in the FO thread. I'll be drawing for winners out of the FO thread, and that's really the only rule. It will go as long as I'm knitting on the county. And yeah, that's it. It can be anything you want. Other thing, my next project. I'm kind of at a loss. Obviously, I'm going to cast on some socks. But I kind of want something in addition to that. 2 projects, while I make progress on it, sometimes I look at them and go, I don't want to knit on either one of those. So give me some ideas. I'm kind of leaning toward a shawl. Fingering weight, maybe 2 colors. I'm kind of going for, I think it was the first shawl that Lala from the Knit Girls designed for Lynn Zim's cancer fundraiser. I think it was the My Wish. There's been a couple. There's been My Wish, My Hope. The first one, the one that was striped, that I did hand spun and Volmiza with, and then I donated as a prize. I'd kind of like to knit one for myself. I'm kind of leaning that direction, but I don't know if I want to do something that big. I would rather do something larger. Sorry, I'm just going to show you. Rather than something small like this, I don't want to do a shawlette right now, as gratifying as that would be. Like, this is my traveling woman that I did, but it's wee. Pretty much the only thing I can do with it is wear it around my neck, or because if I put it around my shoulders, that's it. That's all it does. I can't even really tie it in front. It looks like a bra that's too small. Honestly. And if I wear it like this around the house, it doesn't stay on. The babies grab it and yank it off, and they're swinging it around, and Gabe's running around going, ah, chase me, mama. And that just doesn't work anymore. But something large like my Charlotte's Web that I did is too big, because that, yeah, I can take and wrap it and cross it again and tie it in the back, and it stays on and it keeps me warm. But we're also getting into warmer weather here in Colorado. I say that as we just had like slushy hail here at the house that was kind of like snow. Crazy. The weather's crazier here than it was in the Midwest, if that's at all possible. But just give me some ideas. Post something for me. And the other thing, I did get a new wireless router. This is the one I got because I know everyone will ask. It's kind of middle of the line for Netgear. Netgear was the last one that I had. Wireless routers, according to both the guys at Best Buy and the guys I had out from Comcast that were setting up, I know everyone, Comcast sucks, I know. It's the cable provider in our area, so we had to go with them. But Netgear was my last wireless router, and the guys that came out from Comcast had kind of looked at it and looked at me and went, how old is this thing? And I went, I don't know, 6, 7 years. And their eyes got big and they're like, those are only supposed to last like 3 years and yours still works? I'm going, yeah. So I was very happy with Netgear. That one's kind of a middle of the road. Cost me about $100, I'll be honest. If you're looking for one, this one is actually geared toward larger houses, which our house isn't huge, but it's definitely bigger than our last house. It was, but yeah. So it is the N900 wireless dual band gigabyte router. If you're looking for one, I like it so far. Here's a little side info. And that's it. That's all I got for you. It's working fabulously. Unfortunately, that doesn't seem to be what was affecting the whole sound shutting down. So I'm guessing it's a hardware issue with the computer, which, like I said before, I don't have the money right now to replace my whole desktop. So I have the flip charging. I'll be switching over to that for next week. And fingers crossed this recording worked. Until then, happy knitting.